Sports bettors, I have the best two picks on PrizePicks for tonight. You're really going to like them and really like the value. And we've already given out a lot of plays for today. We have 5 picks on Underdog Fantasy. We gave out for $100 to win $2,000. A little lottery ticket for tonight. But I also have some plays on PrizePicks, so I'm excited to share them with you. And these aren't the 2 picks, but, how I like to start these videos is really explaining how PrizePicks works, right? A lot of people, they come into the OddsJam YouTube and they're like, yo, dude, just say the picks. And it's like, that's not really the goal of this channel, right? The goal of OddsJam, the reason we started it, the goal of this channel is to really help you understand profitable sports betting strategies, how to make money long term. How have I made hundreds of thousands of dollars betting on sports? Because you can do it too. You can build your bankroll. You just need to understand exactly how these platforms work, how the math works, and how the markets work. So hopefully the play I give out hits tonight, but also hopefully you learn something while watching these videos. So kind of what's interesting about PrizePicks, right? And the reason I like playing on it, as well as Underdog Fantasy, is they don't vary your payouts, right? So they're kind of fun to use. So on PrizePicks, any 2 picks you select, doesn't matter if you take overs, unders, 20 to win 60, right? It's parlays only, and every, if you have a 2-leg parlay, it's always going to be the same thing, 20 to win 60, 20 to win 40 in profit, plus your $20 stake back, right? So kind of a good way to think about it is it's a 2-leg parlay where both legs are the implied price of minus 137. So we've gone through this before. On PrizePicks and on Underdog Fantasy, any 2-pick entry, you're going to see 20 to win 60, which is just a 2-leg parlay where both legs are minus 137, right? It's a parlay that comes out to plus 200 odds, right? So another way you can think about that is on PrizePicks, we're betting 20 to win 60, 20 to win 40 in profit. So we need to win 1 out of 3 2-pick power plays to break even. Okay, so we need to win 1 out of 3 2-pick entries to break even on PrizePicks. So that's plus 200 odds, implied win probability of 33.33%, which means we need to win our player props on PrizePicks 57.74% of the time to break even, right? Which is just this number, the square root of it. So this number to the 0.5 is 57.74. So long story short, if you're to be profitable on PrizePicks, betting on 2-pick power plays, you have to be winning your player props 57.74% of the time, right? So you have to win 57.74% of your over-unders or more. Ideally more. Ideally, you're winning 60, 61, 65% of your PrizePicks player props. And that's for a 2-pick entry. For a 4-pick entry, you actually only need to win 56.2% of your player props. The odds are slightly more advantageous just based on how the math works out, right? So another way you can kind of think about this is PrizePicks is charging you in a 2-pick entry minus 137 juice. That's what they're juicing their lines to for both the overs and the unders. So for Mike Yastrzemski, if you want to bet on him to get a hit, you're playing him. How you should think about it is I'm betting $137 to win back 100. How do I feel about that bet? On both the over or the under, you're laying 137 to win 100. Based on the fact that any 2 picks comes out to plus 200, 1 pick is essentially the implied price of minus 137. So what you can do kind of on OddsJam, which is completely free, is you can browse odds between the sports books, right? So you can come here to OddsJam, you can look at any sport you want to look at, and you can just browse lines on PrizePicks and compare it to the sports books, right? So what you'll see is, Joey Bart, do we want to play him on PrizePicks? Well, not really. I mean, the under is juiced on most sports books, but we definitely don't want to play him in a 2-pick entry on PrizePicks because we know we're getting the implied odds of minus 137, right? So we know we're getting the implied price of minus 137, and every sportsbook is offering minus 130, minus 135, minus 133. So we know we're not getting a good price, right? You know you're getting a bad price because other sportsbooks are giving better odds than the implied price on PrizePicks. So we want to skip it over. It's same thing with strikeouts. Like if you decide, okay, I want to look at player strikeouts, you can go ahead and head over to it. You know, maybe there's some value in Logan Webb over 4, considering most of the sports books have his OU at 4.5. But regardless, we'll skip over it. You know, you can just kind of see where PrizePicks is setting the line compared to the rest of the sports betting market. So the first play I ended up going with again is going to be Mike Yastrzemski over half of a player base. So not over half of a hit, over half of a player base. So can this guy get on base? Please, Lord, get on base. The true odds are minus 148 once you remove the vig, right? Remove the juice from all these sports books and get the true price, right? So Pinnacle Sportsbook is the sharpest sportsbook out there, sharpest bookmaker in the world. They're pricing the over, right, at minus 181. The under is plus 133. So obviously they think the over is a lot more likely to hit. So if you remove the juice, the vig, from their market, the true price with the vig removed would be minus 150. According to their model, their market, once you remove the vig from, their market, we should be winning this bet 60% of the time, roughly, according to Pinnacle. When you only have to win in 2-pick power plays 57.74% of the time to break even. We're winning this according to Pinnacle. So what we can do is go out here. According to Pinnacle, we're winning this 60% of the time, right? According to Bet Online, we're winning this minus 169, plus 129. So depending on how juiced the sportsbooks have, the over, it affects, the win probability. So Bet Online, their model is saying Mike Yastrzemski to record 1+ base is 59%, 58.99% with the vig removed. So all these sportsbooks, they kind of price things somewhat differently. So you can treat them all as an independent data point of where the line should be set, right? On PrizePicks, they don't vary their payouts depending on if you select the over or the under. They just add in a ton of juice. So what you can do is kind of use the sportsbooks market. So here, DraftKings, minus 180, plus 135. DraftKings model is giving Mike Yastrzemski, a 60.17% chance of going over half of a base, right? 1+ total bases. Caesars, minus 170, plus 115. We can check them out as well. Minus 135. So here, Caesars model, this bet actually doesn't look that great, but it looks incredible. This minus 137 in a 2-pick power play looks great to Pinnacle, Bet Online, and DraftKings. It looks to Caesars, but we're going to bet it, right? Very high profit margin, great value. In a 2-pick power play, you could play this in a 3-pick power play at minus 141, a 4-pick power play, a 5-pick flex. This play goes great in any entry because the no vig odds is so high, right? It's minus 148. So we're getting this minus 137 implied odds in a PrizePicks entry, 2-pick, when the fair odds, the true odds, the no vig line is minus 148. That seems great. Next one we have Jonah Bride. Minus 141, right? Minus 142, true price. Once again, every sportsbook has the over heavily juiced. This would be incredible in a 4-pick entry, but I did just play this in a 2-pick flex. It's also Taco Tuesday, so you can see they have Aaron Judge over half of the base, which is an absolute no-brainer because if you kind of scroll down, you'll actually see there's a positive EV play on Judge over 1.5 bases. Right, all the sportsbooks have the over 1.5 bases heavily juiced. Pinnacle, Bet Online, both have it minus 149. And we're getting over half of a base, right, in Taco Tuesday. So the 2 picks I ended up going with are, Aaron Judge over, Xander Bogaerts under. Right here, just these 2 plays. And then Jonah Bride, Mike, both over. And this play has a profit margin of 5%. Right, we've gone through kind of the math behind PrizePicks and Underdog before, but if you want to back out the profit margin of your play based on the no vig odds, we can do that, right? Essentially, this pick, right, this 2-pick entry is winning 35% of the time, which is higher than the break-even win probability on PrizePicks. right? You only need to win a third of your PrizePicks entries to break even. We're winning this, according to the sharpest bookmakers, 35% of the time. So we have an edge because we're winning this more than the odds are suggesting, which is exactly what plus EV betting is. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let's make some money, guys.